You turned on the amp today. What the heck is up with you, Randy? So here we are. Wow. Who had that thing on? Stunned. So we have one person on so far. We will kind of go along a little bit. I'll just kind of goof off. I just got back from a cruise. I was out in the ABC Islands. That's what I did. I told everybody I was going off the grid. I did go off the grid. My phone was not connected to LAN, and we didn't do the internet package. We decided to stay off the grid the whole time. It was great. It was a lot of fun, and I got to meet some really good musicians while I was on the cruise. And I'm going to talk today a little bit about what musicians on cruise ships use. You know, a lot of people don't go on cruise ships and don't understand how these guys work. They don't have huge elaborate systems. When they go on these shows, do these little shows, because a lot of times these little venues and these, cruise ships are pretty small. And these guys show up to these gigs and they have, well, this guy had a Helix, is what he had for his sound. And it sounded all right. The one guy that I saw, he had a Helix. And hey, Steph, what's happening? And it sounded good. I mean, it was actually pretty cool what he was doing. Some of the stuff that he did, this Josh guy, it was really cool. What was that? Was it a Helix? Yeah, it was a Helix. So I was going to say it was a Head Rush, but no, it was a Helix. And then the other guy, Kev, that was kind of a solo musician, had an RC6 looper that he was using for a lot of his stuff. And it was really cool to see some of the stuff he was doing just by himself. And then I noticed in, I believe they had 3 violin players play, and one of them was using a Kingsley Overdrive. I was like, wow, that's kind of overkill for a violin player, but I guess not. It sounded great. And then they had another act, and I think she was playing a Taylor acoustic. Another guy was playing a mandolin. And I didn't pay a whole lot of attention to her and him. I mean, they were good, very good. Needless to say, they were very, very good. But I don't know, they were just kind of, weren't really playing anything I was like really interested in listening to. It was more country and roots rock, folk rock, whatever. And it was like, wasn't really down for it, I guess. So what are you guys up to today? What's going on out there in YouTube land? Anything? So today, I'm still playing the Spark amp. Nobody has bought this Spark amp. I don't understand why nobody's bought this thing, but I still have the Spark amp here. And today I picked up a Epiphone Casino guitar that Bob, who usually is on here, sold me. Get some. Why do I have chorus in this thing? I don't want chorus. No chorus. I don't want chorus. How do I turn this up? I don't think everybody wants to sit here and watch me play guitar. But anyways, so like these cruise ship guys, they show up with these really small rigs and they do these shows. You know, the band was, I was on the Carnival Horizon, by the way, and the band that played in there, they played a huge array of music. I mean, it was like all over the place. I mean, it was all the way from Michael Jackson to Metallica. I mean, stuff that I would play. I mean, this is kind of my array. I mean, I would say that probably, and the funny thing about it, I was like talking to Josh, the guitar player, and he goes, "Do you know this song?" I said, "It's in B." He goes, "Yeah, it's in B." And we were talking about Faith by George Michael's. And everything he was asking me, I would say, "Yeah, that's in this key, this is in that key." And he was like, so everything he played, or pretty much everything they played on there, I already played. Hey, Randy, I made it today. Yes, you did. You did, you finally made it. So, but yeah, it was really interesting because like they did one set of country, and when I saw him play, he was playing a Telecaster Ultra, and I said, "This guy's a good country player," and he's from Britain, by the way. He's a Brit, and he was doing a really good job of doing the chicken picking, the double stops and all this stuff, and I was like, "Yeah, really good." I mean, it had me convinced he was probably a country player, but he wasn't. He was more of a rock player than anything, but he did a good job of faking the country thing. And he did that, and they did some funk stuff. They went through, a whole bunch of the stuff like that. Hey, are you an occasional astronaut? Yes, I am in the occasional astronauts. We're actually playing this weekend at Traders in New Smyrna Beach, Friday and Saturday night, 9 o'clock till 1 o'clock in the morning. So yeah, it's a great time. I love playing with occasional astronauts. I'm going to get into what we did last weekend, and you guys are going to freak out when I tell you what I played last weekend with the occasional astronaut. Well, kind of. Okay. Well, I kind of caught that. I did bring my spectacles today. Hey, everyone. How's it going? Nerd Randy here. I just missed you at Ruby Street Girl. No, you did not miss me. Because I was on a cruise ship. Thomas Watkins from Speed Limit 70 actually filled in for me. Thomas is a great player, though. Really good player. A lot better singer than I am. Thomas can sing. I can sing, but Thomas can really sing. So he filled in for me out at Ruby Street. I was gone that whole weekend. I think they played Captain Hiram's and Sebastian, and they played Ruby Street. Total different spectrums of the coast. I'll tell you what, people, you don't know how Florida is. Florida is a very big state. It's a very, very big state. And Ruby Street Grill is out in the middle of the state in a place called DeVaries, which is, it's going to be north of Orlando, probably an hour north of Orlando. And then we play a place called Captain Hiram's. Yeah, I'll actually be back there once again. We'll be back at Ruby Street. I don't have my calendars on my phone. I can't look. But I'll be back there again. Hopefully not next time I'm there. I'm not back on another cruise. Because I have another cruise coming up. But anyways, the band that I was talking about, Josh and stuff, they did funk music. They were doing some Michael Jackson and Bruno Mars and all that type of stuff, which all stuff I've already done. And I've done them in a lot of bands I've played in. And then they went into the last that they said, Horizon Rocks. I'm like, yeah, whatever. They opened up with Enter Sandman. I went, well, that's interesting. Then they did some Weezer. I went, well, that's interesting. And then they did some AC/DC. I went, well, that's interesting as well for a cruise ship when you get these bands that do this type of stuff. And then they did some Toto. They did Hold the Line. They did Rosanna. Um, I can't. Some They did Lit. You know, My Worst Enemy, and some other stuff that all pretty much stuff I have actually done. All right, what we got here? I actually made the live day. Yes, you did, Terry. Good to see you. Yeah. So it was interesting to see like a band, because the last time I went on a ship in Carnival, they had a band that said rocks. Said the Horizon band rocks, or not Horizon band, but the Vista band rocks. They didn't play any rock music at all. Nothing, not even close. This band was like, they were terrible. Oh, you got here. Look into gigs. The money. Yeah, actually, I was supposed to go out on the NCL Escape right before COVID. What is your favorite place to play? Oh, with Occasional Astronauts, I would say probably Captain Hiram's. That's one of my favorite places. And Traders, actually, in New Smyrna. The crowd is always really good. And to me, Traders is my home away from home. I have played that place since I was a kid. And so it's kind of a second home for me. So I kind of feel like I'm coming home. I was in the house band there for many years. And so that place is kind of special to me. And the crowds are always, I mean, if you've never been to New Smyrna, and if you are coming to Daytona, Ormond, Port Orange, whatever, to this side of the coast, to Florida, I encourage you to go to New Smyrna Beach. It's only around 30 minutes, 40 minutes from here, depending on where you're coming from. It is it is an authentic beach town. But the thing about New Smyrna is it's where all the pretty people go to live. And all the pretty people have very pretty children as well. So you go there and you have these gorgeous looking 60-year-olds, 70-year-olds, 50-year-olds, 40-year-olds. And then you have their kids in their 20s. And you're just like, this isn't fair. This is where all the beautiful people went. It's hard to do a gig sometimes when you have a very beautiful woman dancing in front of you with a very, very short skirt on and a very low cut top. I'm sure it's a good feeling. The beach life. Yes, it is. It's a great time. Beach life is awesome. And it's funny because I don't get to play in Daytona or Ormond, my area, very often with my band, the Occasional Astronauts. We usually play Orlando and like Sebastian, Melbourne Beach, Tavares, Kissimmee. That, we're like in that area. We don't come over here very often, other than we were supposed to play, I think, at Main Street Station. And they may still do it. I don't know if they're still doing it. I will be gone. I have a wedding thing I have to go to on a cruise ship. So I have to go do that. So I won't be around for that one. If they do, I don't know if they're going to do it or not. I have no idea. Hopefully they'll get Thomas to come in and fill for me, or somebody else maybe. I don't think Kurt McKim, who I took his place. Kurt used to play, if you don't know who Kurt McKim is, Kurt used to play with Pat Travers for 10 years. He was out with Pat, traveling around the world, and Kurt played with the Occasional Astronauts, and I used to be his sub. So when Kurt would go out, he's playing with Billy Bob Thornton right now. When Kurt would go out and play with Billy Bob, I would come in and play. And then Kurt decided he, I guess, wanted to kind of back away from the whole thing, from what I understand, I guess Billy Bob actually put him on retainer. And Kurt really didn't have to work anymore. But Kurt is a great player. I mean, really great player. I mean, I look up to, I'm one of these guys who just looks at Kurt and go, I don't know how the heck you do that stuff. I don't get it. He's just got a great feel, great player, great tone. I mean, phenomenal tone. And, I'm a fanboy of Kurt McKim. Just to let you know. I'll admit it. There are people I'm a fanboy of. And so Kurt would, he goes out with Billy Bob, but Billy Bob put him on retainer. But like I said, he's out playing with a couple different bands. I know one is Ashley Laura is as what is that girl's name? Ashley something. But he's out with her. He's a Spanish name. Oh, it's Estevez. That's right. Because I had to think about her husband because I know her husband. So he's out playing with her every now and then, but I think he's out in California again. And I think they're getting ready to tour the world again with Billy Bob Thornton. And that way he wouldn't be filling in. I have to move out of the way. Somebody's pulling on the door. You have to move out of the way. So, anyways. But, anyways, looking to see if this guy's looking at the door. He's going, what the heck? Where's that guy at? I'm gonna go in there and buy some picks. Or I just want to look at some guitars and just walk out. Because that's usually what it is. Lately, it's been a lot of people walking in the shop and they don't buy anything. They just come in and look, oh, really cool. I wish I could charge an admission price for just museum walking. So, anyways, yeah. He might have been a homeless person too. We have homeless people come in that they're just walking around the streets and it's hot. We're in Florida, so people will come around and just walk. They'll walk in here to cool off. So that's just nature of the trade. Nature of the trade when you put a shop in a place called Holly Hill. Holly Hill's not a bad place. It's not that bad. Now, if you go down 2 miles from where I am, in that part of Holly Hill, yeah, you probably don't want to be walking out there at night. Yeah, but where I'm at, it's actually not that bad. So, it's just, you just got, if you're coming from Daytona and you got to drive through Daytona to come into Holly Hill and drive through part of Holly Hill into where I'm at, yeah, you probably would get a bad impression. If you've ever been to the shop, you can vouch for this. You kind of go, ooh, I'm not so sure I want to go to this shop because I'm not seeing a lot of, goodness around here. It's like I see a bunch of homeless people walking around and people are like strung out on meth and all this other stuff. This guy over here is wigging out. He's talking to the sky and doing karate flips. You never know. I'm serious, And then, you'll find the hypodermic needles and all that stuff down the way. Yeah. They haven't cleared them out of here yet. So maybe they will. Maybe they just need to move them to their refugee somewhere, into somewhere and take care of those people. Get them the help they need. So, anyways, so that's what I've been doing, and I was going to tell you about my gig on last Saturday night. So, my bass player asked me if, right when I think I just got off the cruise, he asked me, he goes, would you be interested in playing a place in Kissimmee called Cypress Cove? And I said, sure, why not? Okay, I'm gonna book it. I said, all right. Then I remembered in the days of my radio days, yes, radio days. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, how you doing? Good to see you once again here on the show. So I did a commercial play for a place called Kissimmee's only resort like it. It's Cypress Cove. Cypress Cove's the only resort in Kissimmee that's a nudist resort. I wish I had my copy. I could read my copy. Yeah, it was a nudist resort. I had never played a nudist resort. I had played swingers parties before, but I had never played a nudist resort. Let me just tell you, it is a little distracting to play in front of a dance floor full of nude people. Now, this is very interesting because we came in and played this place, and it was actually a lot of fun. Trust this, I would play it again. And actually, they've asked us to come back. I'll go back and play it. We had a great time. They were great people. I don't care if they had clothes or not. It was still fun, and they had a great time, like I said. But the initial shock is beyond what you could ever fathom. When you're playing, let's see. I got my real first six string, and they're doing this and dancing around, and I played Cypress Cove 3 times, 45 years. Cool. So you know exactly what I'm talking about, Terry. So I had never played out there. I've done this, like I said, I've done swingers resorts, or not resorts, but parties. And that was an interesting experience as well. But this was different. I mean, I was told by somebody else that nobody will be naked. They won't bother, they only go in the swimming pool naked. Okay. So I was like, okay, so we won't see naked people. People came into the restaurant with clothes on, ate their food, and when they got done, they took the clothes off and jumped on the dance floor. I was like, hey, Beavis, look at that. Exactly. Things were bouncing around. We had one guy, I was calling him Cannon. Because I can't, maybe this. I was thinking straight out. I shouldn't say anything, but it was different. Not like the people in New Smyrna. No, not anything like the people in New Smyrna. Nothing. Actually, I mean, there were people that weren't bad looking. I can't say anything any bad looking people. Sometimes you get a false sense of how like nudist people are or swingers people are, and you think, I know I'm going off the tangent with this, but because this is not gig related, or it is gig related, but it's not gig related, but it's kind of life. You get a thing, everybody pictures that swingers, and I'm just tuning in. Hey, what's happening? I'm telling people about my gig I played last Saturday night. I played a nudist resort. So I'm just telling you what I had in my mind. This is what I thought. I thought I was going to go to this place, and the people that were going to be in there were going to be really overweight, really ugly, and they weren't. Most of them were in pretty good shape, not bad. Some of them were a little chunk, but not bad. I'm not gonna say anybody was like I went, whoa, hold on, put your pants back on. Put the dress back on, baby. No, I didn't do none of that. I mean, none of them did none of them did anything that I went, well, I wouldn't look at that. But, and the same thing with when I played the swingers parties years ago. Some of the nicest people I've ever played for in my life. Great people. But there weren't ugly people there. I mean, there weren't some people that weren't totally extremely attractive. I mean, normal people, but there were actually some good-looking people to play for. So, hello, Randy. What's going, B-Dog? So yeah, so that was an interesting event. So I'm just going to tell you guys, if you're a gig guy like I am, Maggie, what's the song list? The song list that we played, ZZ Top, Bryan Adams, Chris Isaak, Elton John, what else was on there? Lit. I'm trying to think of our song list. It's Billy Joel. It's just all popular. John Cougar Mellencamp. Just popular classic rock that people like to dance to and have a good time to. That's all it is. It's just a straight down kind of Florida 40s, what you want to call it. Naked Eyes, that would have been a good one. I walk along the city street. Yeah, I like that. Actually, I like Naked Eyes. Great band. Anyways, so that was our fun time this past weekend playing at this nudist resort in Kissimmee. And like I said, they did like us. They are going to book us back again, and I'll be perfectly happy. I told my wife she has to go. She has to go because my wife is a big people watcher. She loves to watch people. I said, honey, you'll definitely have something to watch, look at this place. This is unlike anything else you've ever watched. But she'll probably get over the initial shock that, like I did. It's like 3 sets in, I'm like, okay, they're naked. They're always going to be naked. But it was funny because our drummer's mom, our drummer invited his wife and his mom and dad out and got them into the place for the gig. Why he invited his mom and dad in, I don't know. That was interesting. But she was out there dancing with this naked guy, the guy called Cannon. She was out there dancing with him, and I was like, okay. And her husband was just watching. Okay, whatever. She's dancing with a naked guy. She's got clothes on, but he's naked. So that was interesting. But I'm gonna have my wife definitely next time come out and join us because way too much gain for this guitar. Didn't you play that rap song Jump Around? Jump Around? No, we didn't. We played Funky Cole Medina. God, actually, it's funny you say that, Marjorie, because when I used to play the swingers party, we did play that. Great tone on that hollow body. Well, thank you. I'm playing this little Epiphone Casino and a Spark amp. So. Anyways, yes, it actually is a China-made one. I think it's either China or Indonesia. Probably Indonesia, I bet. Let me see what this one is. Let's look. No, handcrafted in China. Handcrafted in China. Yes. So yeah, it actually sounds good. It plays pretty well. Nothing wrong with it. I can't say anything bad. I didn't catch that last comment there, but somebody said something. Anyways, so yeah, so that was my fun weekend, and talked about my cruise, talked about all that fun stuff. If you did not tune in right at the beginning, you can go back and watch the beginning of this and find out all the fun stuff that I actually did. Like I said, I went off the grid. I told you I was going to go off the grid last week. I said, I'm going off the grid. I'm going away. I did go off the grid. I went on a cruise ship and I turned the phone off and I went off the grid. It's great. I encourage anybody that is never done a cruise, do a cruise. Cruises are great. They're great. They are so detoxing. Don't get the internet package. Take the phone, stick it in your stateroom, leave it there, unless you have to for like booking something. Let's see. Do you ever come across Rickenbackers? Yeah, absolutely. I had a Rickenbacker not long ago. Actually, we had a. What did I have? I think I had a 360. I had a 360, and I actually had a 320 as well. So yeah, we do get them in, Margie. You just check the Facebook page. Like I know you do. I know you watch the Facebook page. I usually post them up there, unless they come in and they go out just like that. I don't have time to do that. It's been slim pickings. I know I talked to a couple of people who said it was really slow in their area as well. It's been slim. I mean, it's like nothing's coming through the door that I can like really like, wow. You know, I mean, we got a 70 Les Paul up there. We got a 79 Strat over there. We got a 65 ES 125 TD or TC. That is over there. There's a Roscoe base over there. I'm just kind of pointing out some stuff that I see over here that you guys don't see. There's a Roscoe back base over there that came in. What else is in here that I can? Oh, a nice. There's a double cut special over here as well. That's in here. So there's some new stuff, and I have a Johnny A that I have that's got to come out. I have there's a Fender Mexican Strat with a humbucker in it. It's got to be, all these guitars I'm talking about now have all got to be set up, and because like I said, most if you just kind of tuned in to what I kind of do, every guitar in here I usually set them up, go through them, put new strings on them. It's not like a pawn shop. I do take care of everything that comes in. One ticket to Elvis Cruise years ago. Oh, cool. I bet that was a lot of fun. Bet that was a lot of fun doing Elvis Cruise. Do they do I'm sure they did. What would a cruise be without doing a little Jailhouse Rock? But no, what else I got back there? I have a Telecaster. I have an ES339. Those all have to come out as well. So there are some new things that are going to come out here and be put up on the racks here. Eventually, if I get to them, hopefully before. We have a guitar show coming up the first week of June. And I'll probably try to get most of these guitars done so I can take them to Sarasota for that show. It's going to be a great show. It always is. I enjoy doing Sarasota. Sarasota is a great place to play. Great place to play and great. There it came back. There it came back. I don't understand. I keep getting these stupid things. I get these spam calls from somebody who wants to underwriting my mortgage, or I don't know. I'm like, dude, I don't have a mortgage. Why are you doing this to me? But anyways, so is there anything anybody wants to talk about or ask me questions today? Anything? We have anything besides? I'll take my spectacles out and I'll look here, and I'll be Garth for a second, because that's what I kind of look like. Party on. I should dress up as him one year. So I do kind of look like him with these glasses. It's kind of funny. Because usually I wear them down here when I'm doing my buying stuff. Let's see. If you guys don't have any questions, no? Okay. Margie's laughing. Thank you, Margie. I'm glad you like that. You know, one thing I'll talk about something really quick, but Occasional Assholes, the band I'm playing, if you have just tuned in. We have been doing, even before I joined the band, they've been doing this version of Chris Isaak by a band called Him, if you don't know who they are. Do you run across 77 Ibanez set neck guitars? Yeah, I have. Actually, I had probably a year ago, I had a nice artist that was super nice. And also, where are you? A pedal guy or a modeler? I am a modeler with pedals. I have a quad Cortex and I have a couple pedals with it. Audio is breaking up? Really? I'm sorry. Is it with my voice or just the guitar? If it is starting to break up and stuff, if these start flashing, like if the feed is not good, I will start doing this actually. So, okay. Thank you. I'll probably start doing these probably at my house and do this in my studio, because I have Spectrum, and Spectrum is horrible here. Any preference between dog-eared or... I like the soap bar. I really enjoy like the basically same pickup. Really underneath the... But I like the look of the soap bar. Like back there on that special back there, or I have what's the other one I have? I have a couple soap bar guitars. I have a 57 Les Paul Custom, and then I have a 56 Les Paul Custom and 57 Les Paul Special TV Yellow. Great guitars, really nice guitars. One day, if I start moving some of this stuff, I think I'm going to start moving this to my house, and we'll do it in my little studio. That way, maybe you'll get to see some of my other guitars if I want to pull them off the rack and pull them out to play. So, otherwise I'll end up playing a Paul Reed Smith every time, because that's what I like playing. So, yeah, Paul Reed Smith is what I play. When I play live, I have a couple of Paul Reeds that I take out, maybe 3. I alternate some of them. I know Lindy Fralin did. They made a, DiMarzio, I know they made a, they did make a P90-ish pickup, but I don't know how, you know, like Lindy Fralin makes a really nice P90 and it's noiseless. So there is no hum at all. And it's looks just like any other P90. And I have used those in the past on a couple of guitars, and I like those. Those I didn't lose any tone that I would have had with the regular P90, other than, you know, the noise, which the noise can actually help out. Favorite? Oh, that's it. P90. I'm the Lindy Fralin noiseless P90 is my favorite. That's the one I would get. The other one too that I used to like is Kinman. I don't know if he still makes them or not. I know he's out of Australia, but I believe he used to make a really nice P90 as well. And I don't know, like I said, I don't know if Kinman is still around. I haven't heard much about him. Esquire custom. Huh. Yeah, some of the Squires are really good guitars. Actually, me and my buddy Bruce, if you ever seen any of the guitar show videos, my little buddy Bruce, who's all of 5 foot tall, 4'8", 5 foot, I don't know. He's little. But he just bought a guitar, and I think it had 2 P90s in it. Squire had 2 P90s in it, a little Telecaster with P90s. So he'll probably upgrade that like he always does. He always upgrades everything. Like most people, I mean, if you buy a Squire, you really gotta upgrade those things if you really want to make it like me. I'm a gigger. I'm a gigging guy. I'm not the guy that's sitting in his house like a lot of people are. I'm a guy. I look at every guitar I look at. When I look at something like this, the first thing I do is, can I gig with it? This guitar, no. This would not be a guitar I would take out and gig. Would I sit around the house and play with it? All day long. But I would not gig with it. And I'm super picky about guitars playing live. I have taken Strats out, I have taken Les Pauls out, and I can't gig with them. They're good for 1 or 2 songs, but I'm putting them back down and I'm grabbing the Paul Reed again. The Paul Reed, as far as I'm concerned, my personal opinion, this is just me, and you see a lot of people playing them. If you're a guy that's playing a gig and you have to play multiple genres, country, rock, you know, polka, whatever, and you want a guitar that is a good utility guitar, because that's what I call the guitars what I play. They're utility guitars. They're just like a guy that has a hammer and he's got that favorite hammer that he has to build those houses with. A guitar is the same thing for a gigging musician. We look at stuff as utilities. And I personally think the Paul Reed is probably the best overall roundabout guitar that will cover all the bases. The Music Man makes a great guitar as well for that, and I've played some of the Majesty stuff and I've tried, but that guitar sits back like this. It kind of sits kind of weird on me, and I didn't enjoy it. I didn't have a good time with it. So I know people always ask about that. They say, hey, what about Ernie Ball guitars? Great guitars, but the Majesty, as far as I was concerned, did not do the job that I needed it to do. So the Paul Reed, the double cut, I'm not big on the single cut. That's, once again, we're going back into the Les Paul land. And it's like, I mean, I tried playing my buddy Mark's guitar and I couldn't even play it. I couldn't play that guitar at all. Maybe the setup was not my favorite. But I had one as well. I had a nice single cut guitar, one of the early single cuts with a trim, which I have to have a trim. I like trims. And that's another thing with a Paul Reed. The trim stays in tune. You know, that's why I kind of don't like Strats, because if I bend that tremolo, 9 out of 10 times that guitar is going to be out of tune after I get done playing with it. It's like there's no way I could play a Gretsch, because 10 out of 10 times I'm going to touch that tremolo and it's going to go out of tune. But that's just me. I mean, everybody is different, and it may be just the way I play. Everybody has a different feel. And I encourage people to try different guitars, and see, if something suits your taste a little more than what you're used to. And as far, let's see, Gretsch got the look though. Gretsch's are cool as heck. If I was just playing one thing, if I was playing like rockabilly or like some country stuff, I don't think all the country stuff you can do on a Gretsch. But rock, I've got a buddy of mine, Dale, who's a customer, who plays in Rocket 88 and the Dale Clark Band. Great player, super nice guy. So Dale, if you're out there, hi buddy, good to see you. He plays his Gretsches, and man, he makes them sound great. I mean, just really kills it. Really, it's like, man. But he's doing one genre of music. He's not doing multiples. It says, I'm too paranoid. Florida's great. Yeah, the Floyd Rose thing. I played Floyd Roses forever. During the 80s, every guitar had a Floyd Rose. Every guitar did. And I'll tell you a funny story about a Floyd Rose, how I ended up playing Paul Reed Smiths. I actually had an Ibanez RG 550, which has the edge tremolo. I took that guitar and I was taking it like this, and I'm, wah, 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 and then I had the tremolo over here and the guitar down here. And I took it out, and I went on my way the next day to try to get a replacement. I was going to actually buy an ESP George Lynch, and I had it. I'm buying a George Lynch. I picked up the George Lynch. The guitar was like a baseball bat neck, which I wasn't used to, especially coming from an RG 550. Which, if you know anything about the Ibanez RG 550s, it's a sliver of a neck. It's like a really flat, wide neck. Great playing neck. The Lynch was like a 59, LP. And I was like, I cannot play this. There's no way. And it weighed like 15 pounds. It weighed a lot. So when I got in there and I was trying this guitar, a friend of mine who worked there said, hey, Randy, you need to try these guitars. And I said, what is it? He goes, it's a Paul Reed Smith. Now this is going back. This is like 89. And I said, okay, sure, why not? I tried one. I said, man, this thing plays good. Man, this thing sounds great. Hands me another one. Oh, this one sounds great too. Oh man, I like the way this one feels. Hands me another one. Oh, this is the same thing. I'm like trying these guitars. I'm just like falling in love with them. And they didn't have the same neck as the Ibanez, but for some reason, the necks felt very comfortable to me. And they just really resonated with my hand. And I got down to two. One was a red one and one was a blue one. Both had tin tops. The red one had a quilt top. The blue one had a tiger. And I couldn't decide which one I liked better. So I asked one of the girls that works there, and she looked at me and she goes, the red one looks better on you. Okay, I'm buying the red one. I bought the most expensive guitar in the whole store. I maxed out my whole credit card. I had no more money on my credit card. It just barely went through. Well, actually, I probably had $2 left on my credit card. Maxed that out. Bought this guitar. Still have the guitar. Guitar still it's with me. And if we do the live streams from my house, and we move it to my house, you'll see that guitar, because I will play it in the live streams for sure, because it's a great guitar. It is my baby. I've actually told my wife, I said, when I die, if I die before you, I want you to make sure that you take that guitar and put my ashes inside the cupboard so I'm with that guitar. Or if you decide to bury me, please bury me with that guitar. That way, if I die and I take that guitar with me to my grave, whoever decides to dig me up to steal the guitar, I will haunt you for the rest of your life, and I will make your life a living hell. I will make sure that every note you play is the wrong note. Everything will sound like jazz. You be playing, and then you go. Because I will be haunting you. Oh, anyways, I hope you guys have enjoyed today. This has been fun as always. I wish you guys would participate more. I wish you'd ask me more questions so it's not all about me. I really hate that. Talk about the Gretsch some more. Let's talk about Gretsch some more. All right. Let's talk about that Bigsby. I hate Bigsby's. I'm going to tell you right now, when you bring me a Bigsby for me to set up, I'm charging you a lot. Because I hate Bigsby's. I hate them. They are a pain in the butt to set up. If you have a Bigsby and you do not have a Vibramate on there, it's a thing called a Vibramate. It sits down by the tremolo and it just fits on there. You can take your strings and you can fit the strings right on the Vibramate. You don't even have to wrap them around the tremolo of the Bigsby. It makes life easy. You can change your strings in 5 minutes. Boom, with a Vibramate. Look them up if you've never seen one. What about ES335? I love ES335s. I love them. I love them. I love a 60s ES335. I actually have quite a few of those. I actually have my 59 ES330 over there. But I have a couple ES335s that I enjoy. What's that? Epiphony? Okay. Epiphany. Yeah. Epiphone. Yeah. Epiphone. I have an Epiphone. Yes, I'm playing Epiphone. What's that guitar, boss? It's an ES. No, it's not an ES. It is an Epiphone Casino made in China. Here you go. How about this? This is something you won't ever hear on a Epiphone Casino. How about that? Looks lovely. Yes, it does look lovely. And it plays good. It sounds good. Would I play it? Some Foo Fighters? I have to drop tune. 8335. I like them before that. I don't think that's it. I don't think it's right. I don't remember. Why did this thing go back to chorusing? I'm actually distracted by the chorus, but no, I played that wrong. Yeah, ES335 style. So the difference between ES335 and like a casino, completely hollow. more Foo Fighters. More like a 335 then. No, 335 has a block through it, so it is nothing like it. 335 has the two humbuckers. This has the two P90s. So they are similar, but not anything like each other in a lot of ways, because this you could not play like that because the 335 would not feedback as bad. Yeah, so the semi-hollow guitars like 335s, those guitars, they're a little bit more manageable. That's why you don't see many of these 330s or casinos and stuff with, you know, a lot of bands that are using any kind of gain at all. You might see somebody play a 335, but you probably won't see the casinos, you know, or you might see them if they've stuffed stuff in these blocks. My question was 6335. Do you like the wider? I actually like the thin neck. I really do. Yeah, I like the little thin neck of the late 60s ones. I don't know. I guess it's because I've been playing the 335s since I was tall. Who knows that Apple phones are playing? I didn't quite get all that. I hate the way my chat goes away really fast. I can't read it fast enough. So I apologize for that. I really do. I don't have I tried to set up, last week I tried to set up a computer that I could sit there and look at you guys' chats, and it didn't work. So I apologize for that. One day I will get somebody on here that actually can walk me through that, because I'm old. And Seth is sending me stuff, and it blocks the screen. How does Ted Nugent get away with the Birdlands? You know, if you listen to Ted Nugent back in those days, there was a lot of feedback involved with his stuff. What is the Marshall in the back? Oh, maybe so. Marshall. I didn't realize. It's a. I think it's an Origin. Yeah, it's just an Origin. So it's a newer Marshall. I guess. I would say he had to be riding a volume knob. You know, I actually have one of Paul Reed Smith's Ted Nugent guitars. I bought one of those guitars. A guy came in here and I bought it from him, and my wife said I had to keep it because it's black and white zebra stripes. And it has the actual catalog that you could only get these guitars through Paul Reed Smith, or not through Paul Reed Smith, but through the Ted Nugent fan club. And a funny story about those guitars, I'll give you really quick, is that Ted went to Paul Reed Smith and picked these guitars out. And supposedly, from what I understand, yes, I do. You are in the middle of the Guitar Attic. I am actually in the Guitar Attic in beautiful the Daytona Beach area, so in Florida. So you can check it online at guitarattic.com. But no, Ted actually went and picked these guitars out. And the funny thing about it, he picked these, Paul said he picked out the most exquisite tops, like total crazy 10 tops, the best tops you could find. And then asked Paul to paint them all black and white zebra stripes. So painted over these beautiful tops. And it's like, to me, I'm like wondering what is underneath the guitar that I have. What kind of top is underneath that? I remember years ago, a friend of mine had a guitar that I believe Joe Bonamassa owns now. Joe owns this Blackbird. We call it the Blackburst because it's a black 59 Les Paul. And underneath, if you take this guitar and you kind of turn it certain ways, and if Joe ever sees this, he'll remember this, that you turn the guitar a certain way, you can actually see the flames underneath this black guitar. The guy bought the guitar and didn't like the flames, so he sent it back to Gibson and had them spray it black. But the flame top is underneath that guitar. It was a beautiful guitar, played great and sounded great. You know, and I know the guitar went to Jimmy Page at one point. Jimmy was the second owner or actually a third owner, because the guy I know got it from an ad in Orange City out of it was in little, you know, penny savers, what we had, these old things. So he went and bought it. I think he gave the guy like stupid little money, not a lot. What's your favorite guitar in your shop? Favorite guitar in the shop? Playing wise is the 91 Paul Reed Smith over there. There's a 91 that I love playing. That one plays really great. That's my favorite. That, and if you can't see over here, there is a St. Blues, which were made in Memphis, Tennessee. That guitar plays really, really good as well. As far as just collectability, my 59 ES330 over there is probably the cream of the crop that I like playing. I should have played that today, but I don't want to break a string, because then I'd have to change the Bigsby. Carved up. Let's see. Yep, exactly. Nice see the flame top. Yep. I can see flame through on some of my acoustic guitars. Yeah, I'm sure. Sometimes you can. I mean, you can turn the guitar a certain way. If it's got any kind of flame, you go, whoa. I will tell you something. Somebody reached out to me and asked me about parts. He was building a Strat, and he asked me, he goes, I'm looking at these different companies from Warmoth and All Parts and, you know, WD and all these other people, and he was asking me about this flame neck Strat that he wanted. He wanted the Strat neck, and the neck that he wanted had a lot of flame. It was really pretty. Sorry, it's too far away. Hold on, let's see. See the blue guitar over there? That's it. That is it. But anyway, the flame neck that this guy was looking at had a lot of flame in it. I mean, a whole bunch of flame. And I don't recommend buying a guitar that has a bunch of flame in the neck. In my experience, most of those extremely flame necks are softer, and they seem to warp a little more. That's my experience. Now, that may not be true with all, but from most of them that I have had experience with, the super flame necks are not a good investment. Especially if they're super thin. Now, if they're like really thick, I mean, you know, maybe if they're super thick, like some of the acoustics, you know, you buy some of these, like a J200 or something. Some of those necks are quite a bit thicker. Maybe those are all right, but some of these Strat necks they're too thin. They can't handle it. Why aren't there more walnut necks? I don't know. Good question. Good question. It's a great wood. I don't know. I don't know one. You need to ask a lutherer, like somebody that actually builds those guitars. Why are there not more walnut necks? I mean, Fender did a series of them not long ago, and I thought they were pretty good. I didn't mind them at all. So I don't know. Good question. But anyways, how long am I into this thing? Oh yeah, we're an hour. We're over an hour now. And I only want to go an hour. That's the max I want to go. I have other things to do, people. Like go eat dinner with my wife. And I have to go work out, so. I gotta keep myself in shape. So anyways, all right guys, so I'm gonna wrap it up here, guys. It's been fun. As always, Wednesday, just after 5 o'clock, you can join me here in the Guitar Attic, or possibly next week we'll move it off into my home studio and we'll do it from there. And we know the connection will be a lot better because I have fiber in the house. It won't be like this Spectrum crap. Spectrum, you suck. Take it out. No. Give me fiber for the same price. What do you got here? Hey, just sent you pictures of my... Yes, I know. I will check it out. I will check it out when I get done with the live feed. All right? So I'll check it out after I get done. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Have a great day. I'll see you next week just after 5 o'clock. Right here, same bat channel, same bat time. Until then, so long from the Sunshine State. Bye.